Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about our central and lateral mandibular incisors. And just a quick look at our incisors on the mandible. We have number 23, number 24, number 25, and number 26. And we all know that these central incisors here in the front are the smallest teeth that we have. With that being said, it was a little hard to try to show you the difference in the mesial and the distal sides of these teeth, so I have made them larger on a piece of paper. So we're going to start with a central incisor. And right off the bat, we're going to be able to tell that this is a central incisor based on its size. If we'll hold it up next to our lateral central incisor, you'll see that it is smaller than the lateral incisor. It's shorter. So there we have our central incisor and a lateral incisor. So just like with our other incisors, we can look and see that we have a slight angle on the mesial and a slight curve on the distal. In reality, it's really hard to tell the difference. If you look at your own teeth, they're almost mirrored images. If you were to fold it over this way, it would be really difficult to tell which is the mesial and which is the distal. So for that reason, we're going to need to rely on the crest of our cervical line, which is right here. And what that's going to tell us is that this is the distal portion of this central incisor. So with this being the distal and this being the mesial surface of this tooth, it's going to tell us that this is tooth number 24. So for our other central incisor, again, it is smaller than our lateral incisor and is shorter than our lateral incisor. Again, the same concept. We have a slight angle right here and a slight curvature over here, which kind of tells us that this is the distal portion of the tooth. But to be certain, we need to again look at the crest of our cervical line here. And it's going to tell us that this is the distal portion of the tooth because that's where the cervical crest is. So if this is the distal and this is the mesial of number 25. So now that we've talked about our central mandibular incisors, we're going to move on to our lateral incisors. And again, it's much larger than our central incisor. The benefit to this is that it has a definite angle and that definite curvature as with our other incisors. So we can look again and we can look at the cervical crest here. And we can tell that this is the distal portion of the tooth, which is also supported by the direct curve that we have here and the angle that we have here. So with this being the mesial of this tooth, it's going to make it number 23. Our last lateral incisor on the mandibular arch is number 26. Again, we have that angle that tells us this is the mesial, and we have the curvature that tells us this is the distal. We can also look at the crest of our cervical line, and it's going to show us that this is the distal portion of the tooth. So this is the distal portion, this is the mesial portion. This makes this tooth number 26. Last thing that I wanted to show you guys was that when we look at number 24 and number 25, our central incisors, we can see that they are straight across and they are in the front of our arch. So they are, again, straight across, straight on. And then when we look at our lateral incisors, they're not going to be directly straight in front of us. They're going to curve toward the posterior of our mandibular arch. There's a roundness toward the distal that makes it correct in that position of the arch. So again, we have our lateral and central incisors. We have number 23, number 24, number 25, and number 26. Thank you guys.